I'm Kayleen, and today I'm going to tell you about my mushroom trip. It all started with 3 days of sun and 3 days of rain. I headed down to my prime spot, picking spot, Marshy Mountain. I'm heading along the track and I see it there. The piece de resistance, this nice little gold top. I run up and I snap its stem and it goes blue. I rip it piece by piece and I look up at the sky and I start devouring my mushroom. The clouds start swirling and making animals and stuff. Anyways, next minute something else grabs my attention and I see this cow. And it's a black and white cow, I'm guessing. But there was black spots on it and the white was changing to green and red and yellow. It was just going rainbow and I thought, what's wrong with that cow? Anyways, so then I had this idea where I would spear the cow. So I go find this sapling and I snap it off and I sharpen the end into a spear. I'm crawling along the ground, army crawling, chasing this cow. I stand up and I do my warrior cry and I hurl my spear towards it, it misses. So then I decide to start chasing the cow on foot. So I'm running after this cow and next minute I run past this huge mushroom, like the cap was the size of a bread and butter plate. Anyway, so I run back, I pick my mushroom and it goes blue and my hands are just stained with blue and I thought, oh, so I snap a little bit off, put it in my mouth and I start devouring it. Then I look at the time, it's about 5 o'clock and I think, geez, it's going to start getting dark. So I put my mushroom underneath my arm and I'm walking home. As I'm walking home, I'm looking at everybody's gardens and the plants are like waving to me and the garden gnomes are scurrying along and being real cheeky. And then I get home and I've got this fairy on my doorstep. And I ask her, excuse me ma'am, can I please have the house key? So she gives me a house key and I walk in the door and all my mates are sitting on the couch. I'm basically speechless and I walk into my room and lay on my bed. I look at the roof and all of a sudden there's all these swirling colours and I'm like, wow, this is really cool. Then I think the trip started to go bad. So I'm looking at everything and then all of a sudden things started jumping out in front of my face, like, you know, a deodorant bottle, just shit like that. And then the whole room starts to shrink in around me and I'm like, this is wow. And I had this big rug on the floor and it's a real dark crocheted hippie colour rug and all of a sudden it turns into a sinkhole and everything is getting pulled into this sinkhole. So I literally jump off the bed and I'm like walking like this towards the door because it's sucking me in. So it takes me about 5 minutes to get to the door handle, which is like not even 20 meters away from my bed. And I make it, I open up the door and my mates are sitting in this boat in this big lava pit, which is the lounge room, this big flowing river of lava. I'm like, dude, how am I going to make it across the lava? And they're like, you'll be right, they're stepping stones. All of a sudden these big pillars start coming up out of the lava and I'm stepping my way. I make it out to the back door and on the clothesline there's a doona. Now the backyard, unlike this, hasn't been mowed for about a year, so you can imagine how tall the grass is. So I go get my doona and I wrap the doona around myself and I start doing the worm in the backyard in the long grass. And my mates come out probably about 4 hours later saying, Kayleen, what are you doing? I said, what? I'm a caterpillar. And yes, that was my mushroom trip. Don't do drugs unless you want to get tripping or high.